Welcome back to the Story Game Podcast, Episode 9. Our special guest today is Adil Bhatti. Adil, introduce yourself.
Hi everyone, my name is Adil. Thanks for having me here. I've listened to one of these episodes partially, so I'm really excited to see what you guys have in store and see what stories you guys tell me.
Yeah, he's a friend of mine from freshman year, Trojan Hall, crazy times.
Oh, I guess I didn't introduce myself, huh?
No, you kind of did, but yeah.
Not from the film school, which is
he's one of our first guests who's not from the film school, who isn't one of our girlfriends, Aman and my girlfriends. Let's get started. Oh, no, yeah.
We should,
The rules. I always forget the rules, dude.
Yeah. Hi, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Aman and I'm with my co-host Arjun. And this is the Story Game Podcast. And so the Story Game is a simple game. We tell each other stories and we determine if they're true or false. There are 3 simple rules. The first one is the main crux of your story has to be either entirely true or entirely false. You can't change one small detail, say the color of your shirt, and then proclaim that a story is false if the rest of it is completely true. The main arc in the story has to be either completely false or completely true.
Yeah, the second rule is that the story can't be too short or too long. We're looking for like the perfect length stories with a nice little arc, entertain us. Don't tell us your whole life story and don't just give us like a quick rundown of events, let's hear a story.
Yeah. All right.
And the third rule is that you can't take somebody else's story and claim it as your own. So if you want to tell a story on this podcast that fits the parameters, you have to be the main character or you have to be present for most of the story. If you have
to be a protagonist.
Yeah, you have to be one of the.
You don't have to be the protagonist, but you definitely have to be involved in the story in some capacity, in a major capacity, let's say. One of the ensemble, let's say.
Yeah, you have to be around. Your name should be, second in the credits if it was a movie.
Okay.
Not necessarily second either.
Second billing. You don't get first billing, but you're like.
Okay, let's not get into the technicality of production, right? Like, so for example, I told a story about my mom doing something, and I was kind of a bystander in that story. That's totally fine,
But Arjun was there for the story.
I was there, and and also this is also an honesty thing. Like, if you've seen your friends or, they've told you stories, you can't pass their stories off as your own and just pretend you're the main character. We have no way to verify this, but,
It's really funny actually because when I was listening to I think Julian's podcast, I was thinking to myself, this is easy. I'm just gonna say what happened to Lior and then say it was me. And then as soon as I think about that, Aman comes in with the rules, and I'm like, oh shit, these guys really thought this out.
Yeah, this game has been tried and tested for the last 3 years, I think. And so,
really?
Yeah, we've been playing it since 2018, 2019. And we've gone through many versions, and it's taken us a while to finally,
Yeah, there's no way for us to really verify if it's Lior who did it, but hey, on the off chance that Lior listens to this podcast, you don't want to be, lying to him about that, claiming his own stories.
Right.
But yeah.
And yeah, if you win, you get to be on the Wall of Fame.
Wall of Fame.
Is there anyone who's won?
Yeah, a couple of people have won, actually.
And if you lose, you get to be on the Wall of Shame. And you are also competing not just against Arjun and me, but against our previous guests. And so the current score to beat is 5 points.
5 points.
By Diksha in episode 3.
Okay.
Yeah. 5 points without double points. Because we've given some guests double points. But I think even with double points, no one has managed to beat Diksha.
Yeah, and Diksha didn't even get double points. So
does that mean she just you guys did not fool her at all?
Yeah, just once.
Yeah,
once. Let's see who fooled her. Aman fooled her.
I gotta make sure I watch for you guys, man, because sometimes the last story I listened, I didn't listen to the full story. I thought it was more important to listen to how you guys told it rather than what you guys said. It's confusing though, because sometimes you be saying these really little details where I'm like, he's definitely saying that to throw someone off,
Yeah, that's true.
I'll be paying attention.
That's interesting. You're the second guest who's done his homework. Most people just don't do their homework and listen to any of the things. Yeah, you listen to some episodes, and that's good, man.
Yeah, it makes it tougher for us, but more exciting, I think.
Okay,
of a challenge.
Let's get started. Yeah, Aman, tell your first story.
Yeah, I get first story. And so, you listen to the Julian podcast, probably not entirely, but the story I told was about this epic sporting moment I had playing football or soccer when I was in the 4th grade. And so this story is another one of my sporting escapades. Unfortunately, not as epic, but I think still entertaining. But basically, I was in the 6th or 7th grade. I was in the 7th grade, so I was about 12 years old. And we were just discussing the Cricket World Cup. And, obviously, growing up in India, I played cricket. I wasn't, at a very high level. I would play casually with friends, but I enjoyed playing. I used to do like cricket coaching when I was younger, as most kids my age did. And so, I knew what my strengths were, and I was primarily a leg spin bowler.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, albeit not a very good one.
Like Shane Warne.
Exactly.
What the fuck? When did you get into cricket,
dude? I've always had a little just behind me,
Yeah.
little bit of that.
Which is an absolute breath of fresh
How
air.
do you know how to fucking leg spin when you're? How old were you?
It was like 12.
Just
leg spin.
you
You
just
can
hold the
leg spin when
seam.
you're 12.
Yeah, of course.
Just
bro.
hold the seam.
I learned how to leg spin when I was much younger. So,
How about that, bro?
Yeah, about that.
oh my god, that's off spin and leg spin, and I was a leg.
Oh, another fun fact. Adil is also a brown boy, so we got 3 brown boys on the podcast today.
We could be
Let's go.
speaking in a completely different language, and
We could, but
maybe
it
like
be
one or
pretty.
2 people. No, it would not be pretty. It would not be pretty.
No,
So-
but it's really exciting to have someone who like knows cricket on, especially because Arjun doesn't like sports at all, especially not cricket. This is a bit of a side note, but he was like
They
staying
don't like
with me.
watching sports, okay?
Yeah,
sports are
watching
cool, but come on.
In
Watching
2019
other people have fun.
In 2019, during like the official ODI World Cup, Arjun was staying with me in India, and obviously all of us were freaking out, every day about the games. And
Right.
Arjun was sleeping in the room with the big TV, and he was just sitting on the side, like, what the fuck's going on? And so it's nice to have someone, who I can actually talk to this about. But anyway, back to my story.
Of course.
So I was a leg spinner, and the way I became a leg spinner is my favorite player growing up was Brett Lee, the Australian fast bowler, and so I always wanted to be a fast bowler, but everyone my age wanted to be a fast bowler. I feel like that was the cool thing to do. And so there was so many people trying to bowl fast, and again, I wasn't particularly good at it. And then there was, in our cricket coaching classes, there were these 2 lines, and one of the lines was the fast bowling line and one was the spinning line, because you had different sets of like practice equipment or whatever. And this fast bowling line was like so long that you'd only get to bowl like once every 10 minutes. But the spin line, there were only 2 other spinners, and so you'd get to bowl like really frequently. And so one of the days I was like, fuck this, I'm going to try becoming a spinner. And lo and behold, I was better at leg spin than I was at fast bowling. And so I never played cricket for my school, and my school was a pretty small school. It was a pretty new school, and so we didn't have a really good sports program at all. Like, I don't think we were good at least when I was there. This was like my middle school. I don't think we were good at any sport particularly. Like, we used to play, but like, we didn't have like a winning team. Like the other 2 schools I went to had like winning teams in a few spots. This one was just like, whatever. And so I get a call on a Monday saying, hey, you can spin, right? And it was one of my friends from my class, and he was on the cricket team, and he was like, look, we had 3 spinners on our team. One of them is sick, and 2 of them have broken their arms, so we have no spinners. So can you spin? I don't know if 2 broke their arms. So basically, all the other spinners in our age group were unavailable. This was like under
2 people broke their arms.
I don't know if that's true, but it was
They're
like
in the same spinning accident.
it was like under 14-ish, or maybe I was 11 still, so it was under 12. But basically, there were like, or maybe it was under 13. I don't know. But basically, in my age group, there was not a lot of other spinners, and so I was like, yeah, haha, I'm a leg spinner. So they were like, okay, come tomorrow for cricket practice, and then if you're like, decent enough, whatever, then you'll have to play the match. So I was like, okay, cool. So I go there the next day. They literally make me bowl like 2 balls. They see that my line and my length is fine, and the coach was like, okay, he'll do.
He's playing.
Yeah, okay, you're in.
The pros, man.
So suddenly I'm a part of this cricket team for my middle school, and we're playing this team that I didn't know this at the time because I wasn't up to date with whatever middle school cricket, but they were one of the best schools in the cricket teams in the city. Okay, and so we're playing and we're getting absolutely hammered because if I'm in the team, the rest of our team is made up of like terrible players except for two, right? Like our captain was good, and my friend who called me up, he was a decent fast bowler, and that was it. And so we're getting hammered, and I think they ended up making like 400 runs or something. It was ridiculous.
In how much time?
I don't remember. And like it was like they were hitting 6 after 6. Like it was a joke.
Oh
like it was, it was like watching kids play against the professional team. And my claim to fame, though, we only got 2 wickets that match. And
both yours?
No, one of them was mine.
Claim to fame.
But one of them was mine, which is a big deal because
one out of the
I was in
wickets.
we used to call it MSSA, which is the Maharashtra State Sports Association. So it was an MSSA cricket game, and I managed to get a wicket against like a pretty good team in the MSSA cricket team. And my specialty while bowling was I used to bowl leg spin, but I used to bowl flighted deliveries, and I only knew how to bowl flighted deliveries. And for
You know what
those,
that is, Adil?
Probably floats in the air for
yeah.
longer.
So for those who don't know what it
Just gotta
means,
think about that one.
the ball sort of just like goes a lot slower, but it curves upward.
Yeah.
And here's what was good. If we were playing and the sun was in the sky,
Oh, they
my
couldn't even
balls
see it.
were lethal, right? Because people couldn't see the ball, but it would still bounce before the crease. But if there was no sun in the sky, you could see the ball and people would just come
Just
and hit
come
it
up
full,
and smash it, yeah.
Yeah, right.
So it was a slow ball.
It was a slower ball, but it would like float in the air, and you'd expect it to go over you, but then it would like drop down just before. And so if you can't see the ball, sometimes it's really tricky to play. So I used to get, and
Okay.
Sorry.
I just feel this is a crazy maneuver for like a 12-year-old.
Not at all.
It honestly does sound like it. Like
It was actually really simple, and unfortunately, because I wasn't very good, I only knew how to bowl flighted deliveries, and so I couldn't bowl like a normal leg spin ball, which was the problem. And so the guy eventually got out. I remember he started complaining to the umpire because he was like, "Bro, the balls are too high. I can't see it." And the umpire was like, "Look, if it bounces before the crease, there's nothing I can do." And honestly, that umpire was just really sweet to me. I don't know why, he just took a liking towards me, because at one point I remember I was like fielding near the boundary, and my
he knows it's a ragtag team of individuals. He's on your side. He's the underdogs.
It's like I remember so clearly. My captain was like, we were getting hammered, so he wanted to change something up, and I hadn't bowled in like maybe 10 overs. And I remember the umpire telling him, why don't you let him bowl? He got a wicket once before. And he was like, okay, sounds good. But literally we got smashed, and we got like a penalty because we didn't finish the allotted amount of overs in our time limit. So they got another 100 runs. So we had to chase down like 400 and 500 runs. Okay, so like there was no way we were gonna win. And so we go into the second innings, and our coach is like, okay, who wants to open? So we had one opening batsman who was our wicket keeper, and then he asked everyone else who wants to open, and everyone's like, no, I don't want to open, because everyone's just fucking scared because we were all terrible. So I was like, you know what, I want to go home early, so cool, fucking I'll open. And so I get onto the field. I'm at the non-strikers end. We take one run. I make one run because the ball nicks my bat and goes between the wicket keeper's legs.
Goodness.
And I managed to make a run, and then within the next 2 or 3 balls I get run out, and I left before the match got over, and my team made 40 runs, out of which 30
40.
Yeah,
That's so bad.
yeah, literally we made 40 runs, and out of which 30 were made by our captain, and like 5 were like extras. I made 1 run of that 40. And the most embarrassing part of this, some of my best friends who were in a different school were playing on so because it was like there's not a lot of money for like sports, for the school sports, they would just have one big field, and then they would just like put fences, and so a bunch of people would play on one field. Some of my best friends were playing on the field right next to me.
Oh my goodness.
And their team was really good, and they were just watching us get destroyed. And yeah, that was it. That was my one cricket match. My MSSA record is 1 wicket, 1 run, and 1 loss. I have
All
not
ones.
played cricket for a school since.
Yeah, interesting story, huh? What do you think, Adil?
I mean,
You didn't ask many questions throughout the thing.
I mean, please do.
Ask some questions.
well, I was more so trying to picture the whole environment because I've definitely been there. Not so much as in cricket, but definitely as a kid. First time I played. Well, this isn't a story. Short excerpt. First time I played soccer was third grade. We, another ragtag team of individuals. Everyone gets together. Our first game was against these little third graders who apparently had been playing since they were fucking like 2 years old, and we got destroyed 13-0 our first game. And then we lose our second game. We do slightly better. We lose our second game 9-0, and then and it's. Whole season was like that, so I can definitely relate when it comes to having shitty sports teams.
No, they never called me back for obvious reasons, considering we got hammered like.
I feel like you were the top 2 players in there.
Yeah, true. But they had better spin bowlers who just couldn't play that game.
Both of them had broken their arms.
I think that was it, but that's just might be my memory. I really don't know what the reason was. I just know I was like subbed in as the 4th spinner just because no one else could spin. So, yeah.
That's hilarious.
So what do you think, man? True or false? See, it's your guess. I can't guess. I have an opinion about the story, but I'll be...
And please ask me more questions and stuff.
Yeah? Okay.
I'll be telling.
Well, that was the very, very shady detail. Both leg spinners apparently had broken their arms.
Again, I really don't know if that's true
conveniently.
He doesn't know if it's true or not.
Like, I don't know what happened to them. I just know that,
I mean, the thing is, it's such like a believable story, and I could see it, very much so happening. So my gut reaction the whole time, which was why I didn't really ask many questions, was I think it's true.
Yeah? Are you locking in true?
Yeah.
Okay.
Really? You want him to lock in true already, huh?
You
locking in true? You don't ask any more questions? Okay.
Okay.
Alright, locked in true. I think it's totally false, bro. Like, there's so many things that just don't make sense.
Like what?
Like, you were a leg spinner, but then you suddenly didn't know how to leg spin by the end of the story.
No, I could, but
you could do this crazy, insane shot that
it's
somehow...
It's honestly not that crazy.
It's not that bad.
Yeah, it's not that... It's honestly, like, it takes more skill not to do it.
I've done one of those to my sister with a tennis ball.
Yeah.
She came out with a bloody nose.
It's not that... It's honestly, it's like a terrible ball to bowl. And Arjun, you're completely wrong because it's a true story.
It's true?
Yeah,
Oh,
everything.
damn. You got the point there.
Hey, man.
Nice.
Yeah, that was a good guess, dude. Yeah. It was, one of those things where I was like, okay, I'll play just because. But yeah, it was not pretty at all. Like, it's 40 runs and they made like 400 and something, like one of their players.
Yeah, that's another thing that made me doubt it. 400 runs is ridiculous.
That's like playing Australia, man.
One of their players...
You'd have to hit 66s, dude.
Bro, one of their players hit like close to 200 runs himself. And then we got this penalty, and so there was another. Bro, we were just getting smacked. Like, there was no two ways about it. We were getting smacked. Maybe some of the numbers are fuzzy, but like, I'm fairly certain we had to chase down 400 and we made like 400 and something and we made 40 something. Like,
was it like 12 balls to get 350 runs?
No, we got bowled out.
Was this like a ODI, like 50 overs?
I think it was like maybe 30 overs. Or
okay.
Something. I mean, I don't really know. I had no clue I was just there, bro. I was just like, I didn't even have like we didn't have official school uniforms. They were just like wear white and just put up.
Dude, the crazy thing is about places like Pakistan and India, and especially when it comes to cricket, like say you were to play cricket with like some old uncle, some old head like that, some guy you would never expect to have any athletic prowess or capability whatsoever. These uncles, man, will really fucking school you, bro.
Yeah, no, for
like,
sure.
Cricket is a game that you gotta have a lot of experience playing.
Yeah.
I feel so out of my element. You guys just talking about cricket.
And it's crazy because you're actually from India, man.
Yeah, literally, dude.
No, he's from Wisconsin. Sorry.
Yeah, Wisconsin.
Not from Wisconsin.
How do you say it?
I played football, soccer.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. Cricket was always a boring thing to me.
I have a lot of love for the game, and I love playing. I'm just.
It's fun, man. I used to be a fast bowler.
Yeah.
I did a little bit of leg spin, but then I realized I was like, it's not as exciting. It's cool to see people like confused, but and it's cool to see it like go one way and then hit the wicket and then just like whoo. But I'd like doing Yorkers obviously. That shit is fun.
That shit is fun. So Yorkers, you bowl like right at the
batsman's feet. I know that.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I know some
right at the foot.
Okay.
Bro, where's this aggression coming from?
Cricket expert suddenly. No, that's crazy. Who's your favorite player, Adil? Who's your favorite?
Shut the fuck up about this cricket
favorite
bro.
player.
I want to know.
Honestly, I would say it was probably when I was a kid, maybe in Zamamul Huck.
Yeah, no,
Just
he's
because
a
he
legend.
was,
good.
dude, he was such a comical
Yeah.
guy.
Dude, where the fuck is this coming from? You literally know everything. I have no idea.
Bro,
Like,
I
this is so
know
crazy.
a lot. You haven't I'm not just here for the fanfare, man. I know a lot.
I love this. Inzamam was a legend of the game, but yeah, he was. So Arjun, for context, he was just like the
I don't want to
slightly.
hear this
Dude,
shit.
he used to run himself out.
Yeah.
Homie would be standing, running, and then all of a sudden he'd be away from the base, and sometimes he'd just be so fat that he couldn't stop his momentum, and so he's running really hard to the wicket, and he's like trying to stop, and he flips over it, and he like taps the little stump off, and they're like,
my
"Bro,
God.
you just got yourself out."
Bro, he was like.
Can't you get a runner though? Like,
No, you can, but you really only want a runner because why do you want to trust someone else with that, right? You only really want a runner. He was just like, everyone used to call him, oh, he's so fat, haha, because he was a little overweight, but he was one of the best like batsmen for Pakistan. He was like captain,
really good.
one of the legends of the game for sure. But yeah, no, he was great. Sorry, we should. This is turning
Just
into-
sorry, but fun fact, real quick fun fact. My uncle used to actually play cricket with
Oh, no
Inzamam
way.
Huq when they were
That's
kids.
amazing.
Yeah, and then my uncle was also in Imran Khan's political party when it first started.
Oh no way,
Yeah,
dude. That's
so he's got
crazy.
pictures of Imran Khan and all that.
That's super
cool, man.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Hope this. I really don't want this to turn into a cricket podcast.
Oh my god.
We could spend just the entire 2 hours. analyzing the
Anybody
game.
listening's probably already turned it off. Right now.
I think we can. No, I feel like we have the secret set of fans who just.
I taught my one of my roommates. His dad is from New Zealand. I taught his son how the game worked yesterday. I was so disappointed in his father. I was like, "How are you from New Zealand and your kid doesn't know how this works, man?"
Bro. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, let's
we'll
move
talk
on.
about this
Let's move
after
on.
the podcast.
All right, Adil.
Is it my turn to
Yeah,
tell
it's
a
your
story?
turn to tell a story.
Okay, so in a similar direction, my story is also going to be focused on sports.
I was about to be like, fucking, is it cricket, dude?
No,
Okay,
dude,
thank
come
God.
on now. Come on now. Where am I going to play cricket in the States like that?
Good.
Only very few instances. No, but this story happens in when I was in 8th grade in Vegas. So we used to go to like this little, not private school, but also not public school. Not expensive enough to be called private. So it was a semi-charter school, right? So it's just made up of a bunch of like just really geeky, nerdy kids, right? I mean, we are, 8th graders, right? But on this team, there was about, I want to say 12 or 13 people. We had a couple good players, a couple really solid players. Usually only one that was like, one or two that were really doing all the scoring.
What? So this was like soccer.
Basketball.
Okay.
Basketball. Yeah, I don't think I made that clear yet, but this was a basketball team.
Yeah, he plays basketball, dude.
Yeah,
Big basketball guy.
Big basketball
Who's
guy.
your team?
The Heat.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's enough.
Yeah,
Aman,
fuck it,
enough.
Heat. You also we'll discuss this great game 2 days ago. Anyway, sorry, continue.
But yeah, so we were the Coral Academy Falcons. Don't ask me how we got Falcons, but yeah, that was us. And we played in this really like obscure league. Since I remember, I said we were a semi like charter school, so then we couldn't play with the public school kids. I mean, shit, even if we did, we'd get waxed. Those guys don't fuck around. Public school people, they're good. And then we couldn't play the private school kids because we weren't private. So our team had to, make this whole like division of schools just like us. So we happened to find like a couple schools in the area, a couple schools in the state.
As in you found these schools?
No,
or is this-
my
okay,
school,
this is a league.
administrative,
Okay.
yeah.
Where was your school based?
Henderson, Nevada. So just
Okay.
like a suburb in Vegas.
In Vegas.
Yeah, and so sometimes we would play like this team from Alamogordo, New Mexico, right? That was another team that wanted to play in our division and
So
travel like 2 hours to
They
play games.
Came to you.
Yes, and so one day and usually when we would play our basketball games, we would watch like the younger kids, like the JV squad play first, and then we would watch the girls team play, and then we'd play, right? And so we're sitting down one day, and I mean, we actually traveled all the way to New Mexico to play them because they were like, okay, now you guys have to come to us to play, right? Because we've gone everywhere, so we deserve a home game, and we're like, fuck it, all right. So we travel in this dingy ass van, right? 12 middle schoolers and two grown ass men in the front who have to put up with, listening to all the conversations we're having in the back. We traveled to New Mexico about 2.5 hours. We get there, and like I said, we start watching other people's games. And we get to the girls' games, right? All of us just 13-year-olds, just 14-year-olds, just laughing, cracking really inappropriate jokes on the sideline, just having a good time. And the girls are playing, and so after halftime, what happens in the basketball court and in most sports is like you start, offensively this side, and then halftime you switch sides. Right. So the side switch happens, and one of the girls on the girls team didn't realize what was happening.
Oh, no.
So instead of shooting on the right basket that she was supposed to after the half when it switched, she kept shooting on the same basket that she was in the first half. And, she just she kind of oriented herself in an attacking position at her own basket. And we're all just perplexed. We're like, oh my God, look at her. She's really about to shoot at her own basket. And, she makes it. So she literally makes 2 points for the other team. We're all just sitting there laughing. We're like, oh my God, how can someone be, that stupid? And then it comes our turn to play, right? So boys are playing, and I mentioned before, there's usually only 1 or 2 players scoring.
Wait, so the girl who she was in your school, but...
Yeah, but she was just part of the girls' team. So we would watch them play, and then it was our turn to play. So yeah, we come to play, and... it was a nitty gritty game, man. These kids from New Mexico, they used to live in a place that's not really very populated, so these kids are all farmers and shit. So straight up, these were not friendly individuals, man. They put these parents, and their gym was so, we didn't even have a gym. Their gym was so decked out, you could tell they actually cared about their basketball. And so we're playing, and I think at this point I have 4 points. Yeah, that's me. 4 points, and then my other friend on the team has I want to say 16 to 18 points, right? And that's our total score. Okay, that's our total score. And then the sides switch, right? And for some reason, I don't know why, but the sides switched, and I got kind of I had a little brain fart. And I'm like, holy fuck, what's going on? We were just, and it's just bright lights around me, parents screaming, coaches screaming at me, and I'm looking around, and all of a sudden I'm like a deer in the headlights. And in basketball, you have to try to inbound the ball when it goes out of bounds. And everyone else on the team, right? There's 5 players. Everyone else on the team, the guy inbounding it, and then there's me, right? So 2 of us are here. And then the other 3 are all covered, right? They're all running, trying to get open to get the ball, but there's always a defender on them. So I'm the only one open, right?
I know.
And the sides just switched. So I'm like, please don't pass it to me. I really don't know what's going on right now. After making fun of that girl, I felt really bad. So I was like, please just don't. I really don't know where we're going with this. So of course he passes it to me because I'm the only one that's open. And I take a good look at the rest of the court. I see everybody else on that side of the court, right? Defending, and then part of my teammates also attacking. And I don't know what in that moment possessed me to do it. But I looked at my teammate that inbounded me the ball, and I saw an open rim. And I thought to myself, yeah, I'm going to shoot this. And the best part is, I was 2 for 2 on the opposing team's rim, but I actually missed this shot.
Oh, okay,
it's not. I feel like I would have been happier had I made the shot, because then I would have known, hey, at least I still made the damn shot. I didn't miss on my own hoop, but that's exactly what happened. Were
you trying to shoot a 3? Is that what it was? Okay.
And
So
the funny thing is,
everyone was on that
dude,
side of the
literally
court,
everyone else was on the other side,
and you were alone here, and you're like, this is the right place to shoot.
And the guy that inbounds me the ball screams. He goes, no, and he looks at me and laughs after I missed, and I grab the board, and he looks at me and he goes, bro, don't do it again. And I'm like, okay, yeah. And I turn around, and we just go on and go on to lose the game, actually.
yeah.
But my friend that had 18 now had 28 points total, and I had 4. Our grand total, for the team was 32 points. So, if you do the math, it was just me and him scoring. But I almost sold us in that very moment.
That's crazy.
But I was also the after that game, after I made a couple buckets, I was also the starting power forward.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's good.
That was decent. I just had one little mishap,
So, what was the name of this girl?
I had no idea.
So you didn't know her at all?
No.
Okay. You didn't have like a little crush on her or something? You thought maybe if I
think
do
I'd
the
crush
same...
on a girl that shot on the wrong basketball?
You just shot on the wrong
side. Of course not.
How old were you again?
14.
Interesting.
I feel like...
See, at the start of the story, you were 12, and then at the end of the story, you were
okay, yeah. I was 8th grade. I was 14.
Yeah, he said 8th grade.
Okay.
But I thought what happened in this story is that he saw the girl do it, and he's like, okay, this is a way for me to connect with her at an emotional level.
Oh my goodness, this guy really thinks it's a Bollywood movie.
See, I bought it, but then a part of me is like, oh, he saw the girl do it, and so then he's made this story up about like him doing the same thing right after.
That's a possibility, yeah.
I don't know.
But also, this is like a Adil Bhatti moment, like...
Yeah, you think so?
What does that mean?
character.
Oh my god, you were there for that, weren't you? Classic man.
Classic.
Arjun's been saying it's a dash moment a lot recently. That's
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's this meme on TikTok, which I probably shouldn't
Yeah,
talk about on the
let's not.
podcast.
Let's not.
But it's just funny, like whenever something happens, you say, "Oh, yeah, that was a Aman Nathani moment," or like,
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, yesterday he was doing it a lot. Anyway, I buy it, and then there's a part of me that's just like everything around it was true, and then this one like main moment of it was not.
What do you think you're gonna go with? I think
What do you think you're gonna
I'm
go
feeling like it's true,
Yeah.
but the thing you said about like how he could have seen someone do this and then like make up a story about it,
Yeah.
that seems a little...
I don't know, because also the story started with him saying, "Oh, we were in Vegas," and then he said, "Oh no, we traveled to New Mexico."
Oh, that is true.
Right?
Because you said originally the New Mexico team was going to travel to you in New Vegas or Las Vegas.
Well, no,
New
you-
Vegas?
You start
Fallout
you
New
started
Vegas.
the story by saying, "Oh, we were in Vegas
Uh-huh.
for a tournament or something," and then suddenly you switched and you were like, "Oh, we have to go to New Mexico." So I don't know if you decided to change your story.
Yeah, that was basically they would come to us some games.
No, that I heard later.
Yeah.
But before that, you said something about a tournament in Vegas.
Yeah, you did. Well, no, I don't remember that. I just remember him saying that for some reason this team from whatever New Mexico, what was it?
Alamogordo.
Alamogordo, New Mexico, wanted to travel to Las Vegas.
Yeah.
No, but I remember him saying that in the context of like, oh, they used to travel to Vegas a lot because we were all the same type of school. But then this one time they were like, oh, you should come to us. But before that, I don't know, I very clearly remember this story starting with him saying, oh, you were in Vegas. And the reason I remember that is because then I asked, oh, where was your school based? And he said, oh, we were in a suburb of Vegas. And I was like, okay, then it makes sense that he was in Vegas for this tournament.
You want more Sprite?
I would love some more Sprite.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
Grab one quick.
And so, not sponsored, by the way. Not
Oh, you guys should
sponsored yet. Yeah, I hope it, right?
Sprite would love y'all.
Yeah, and we're serving it to you.
Hey, you'll get there.
Yeah, that's the goal. We're serving it to you in a Coke glass, Coke and Sprite. Just amazing stuff. But no,
I think
you think it's true?
I'm going to go with true, but yeah, I don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was true, but like there's a part of me that just feels like it's embellished. But if you tell me it's true, I'll be like, okay, fair enough, and I'm gonna take that risk. So I'm gonna say false, which means you're guaranteed at least a point.
Okay, I'm locking in true.
I'm
He's
locking in false. Yeah.
Okay. That story was completely true.
Shit.
Okay.
I did shoot at the wrong basket. I got a lot of shit for it. Trust me.
Hilarious.
Trust me. I got a lot of shit for it. Even my cousin who didn't score a damn point the entire season started making fun of me, and I looked at him. I said, "Tamur, you don't even get playing time, bro. You can't. You don't even have the opportunity to shoot at your own basket. Don't talk to me."
Adil Bhatti moment.
Shit. No.
I hate how Oscar had that conversation with us, dude. That he.
So the context is like, I don't know, you were late to this little gathering we were having, and Oscar was just like, it's classic. He's a character. Adil's a classic character, and just like someone's a classic character. And Angela was like, no, I want to know why he's a classic character. Angela was like, well,
really
why is he
about
a
it.
classic character? And Adil shows up, and then we had this whole thing, and like, why is Adil such a classic character,
Yeah.
And it's funny because like all these weird stories happen to him.
Dude, like I'm telling you, bro, I don't know what it is, but shit just happens to me.
Shit just happens to him. He's just
Okay.
like a classic character.
Like literally fell off my bike on
Yeah.
Friday. And like here's my shoulders kind of fucked up. It's like,
Ooh.
like that.
Oh,
yeah.
whoa, that's bad.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. I fell off my bike Friday.
Dude, like we were talking about how some dude just came in the middle of the night to his dorm room and like peed in his
Pissed on okay, not on anything. So he comes in, it's like 4 a.m. and I'm
Do
like,
you know this dude?
no, not at all, bro. I literally wake up to the sight of a man just like leaning over my roommate's trash can, and I'm still trying to register if this is real or not, and like I'm like super groggy, and I'm like, who the fuck is this guy, right? And my roommate's just dead asleep, and I go, yo, bro, what the fuck are you doing? And he just grunts at me, and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? All of a sudden, he just unzips his pants, and like for half a second, I'm like, what the fuck is he about to do, right? Like I don't know how to react in this moment, right? Because I'm like, okay, he's got to be drunk. Do I like knock his ass out, and then possibly face the consequences of doing that? Because might get some legal issues thrown my way, but and
he's
that,
peeing in a trash can, so if
Yeah.
you punch him, he's probably gonna squirt everywhere.
he's probably gonna piss all over my roommate's stuff too, right? So I was like, fuck, at least he's doing it in a controlled environment, And I see him, and he's done, and I'm like, bro, what the fuck is your name? He goes, well, I probably shouldn't say his name on the podcast, but fuck him.
You can say his name.
I can say, yeah, fuck that guy, Brian Hernandez, little bitch. And he goes, Brian, and I'm like, okay, Brian, come with me, buddy. And all the little name tags are on the doors for the dorm, and I look around, I'm like, where the fuck is Brian? Where's Brian? Okay, I find Brian, and I open the door, and I see his roommate. He's just like awake. It's like 4 a.m. Weird as fuck. I'm like, dude, why are you like, okay, your roommate just pissed in my trash can. And he goes, oh, again? And I was like, what do you mean again, bro? Why is this guy doing this? Like, why is this fucking serial pisser? And in that moment, I was really mad because I was like, why did this shit just have to happen to me? Like, and I was like, I'm gonna take a stand for this, and so I had him go to his bed, and I took I took paper towels, and I picked up the trash can that had his piss in it, and I just dumped it on the bed. Yeah.
No way. Okay. Crazy.
Anyway, that's just insight into why
That's just
Adil's
an
a
Adil
classic
moment. Yeah.
Adil moment.
There's a lot of moments like that, man. We don't even have enough time in this podcast to discuss how many instances of bullshit I've had to deal with.
We'll maybe our next story can be another Adil moment. We'll see.
Really, I mean, the thing is, Arjun already knows like a good amount of them, and the fact that he just knows that as a character trait is like kind of fucked up.
Yeah, like this story, right?
It's so funny,
You saying
dude.
that's an
Like
Adil
I would have
moment.
been a great story to tell, but
Yeah.
look at this guy, I already knew it.
Yeah, well.
No, it's funny that you say that because I used to live in like freshman year. I lived not in like a dorm like Trojan Hall, but in one of those like suite building things. Like I lived in floor tower, and so my like roommate, I remember once like I woke up at like 3 a.m. and I see this guy like my door, like my room door is wide open, my bedroom door, and super bright light coming in, and my roommate is just standing there, and he's pointing at like something off screen, I guess something out of my view, and laughing, and then he gets into bed or whatever, and I just sort of put my earphones in, I turn around and I try and sleep, and then I suddenly hear him like moaning, okay? And he just come back from a frat party. He was clearly drunk, and I thought, shit, dude, like this guy's having sex, and he thinks I'm asleep or whatever, right?
Oh
And I was just like, I just put my
Having
headphones
sex or
in.
masturbating?
See, I thought he was having sex, okay? 'Cause he was like moaning so loud, and I was like, okay. And I was like, I don't even want to look this. I just turned around, I just put my Pixel buds in, no, whatever I had, like my beats or whatever on my this thing. I play loud music and I fall asleep. And I wake up the next morning to a loud knock on our door because the guys in the room next to us in our suite was like, "Yo, someone pissed in our trash can yesterday. Which one of you
You're
was it?"
shitting me.
And I was like, "Look." So everyone in my suite was like pledging a frat or whatever except for me. And so I was like, I was at home, like it wasn't me. I don't even get drunk or whatever. And they were all like, and one of them was like, "Yo, it was my roommate." They were like, "Yo, it was him. Like I saw you in our door." And I was like, I don't want to throw this guy under the bus, but yeah, I saw him like laughing. And then I turned to him and I asked him, and I was like, "Yo, like, did you have a girl over yesterday? Because I heard you moaning." And he was like, No, I didn't." And so this dude just came back drunk as fuck, pissed in a trash can, and then loudly pleasured himself.
Oh my god.
But no, he's a pretty sweet guy.
Yeah, freshman year is for some reason like
Yeah.
full of stories like that, Like it's just ridiculous how many people piss in people's trash cans.
I think
and normal people too, dude. Like just normal people. Like
Yeah, he was-
Austin pissed in someone's trash can as well.
Well, was he normal though?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very very.
He was
fine
going
line.
through some shit, but
Yeah.
pissing in people's trash
It
cans
was
seems
funny
to be like a common
that
occurrence.
that guy was shitting on the other dude for pissing in a trash can. Little did we know he does it like 2 weeks later.
Oh no,
Yeah,
dude.
he tries to piss in Angelo's room, but Angelo stops him, and then he goes to the room right next to Angelo and pisses in that dude's trash can for some reason. What is
Trojan
Yeah, I don't
with
know,
that,
but-
dude?
yeah, but
Well,
dude-
okay, to Trojan Hall, that you literally just had a story of you.
Yeah, but mine was because I don't know. Mine was
No, I mean he's right, dude.
Trojan Hall was a wild experience.
That was something else.
Dude, that lounge, Arjun and I have discussed it a lot. The lounge in Trojan Hall, one of my movies, I had like an interrogation scene, and I'm not even kidding. That lounge was the perfect like holding cell,
Really?
and it worked out
like a
dude,
dark, grisly
It
holding
worked
cell.
out perfectly, dude. Like everyone watched
Little
it, like,
lights
amazing.
flickering in the back. Just
There's a windowless room with these like one table. This fucking
oh, the study room.
Yeah, study room.
Yeah.
dude, and there's like a.
I think I've seen this too. I think you
Yeah,
showed
maybe.
me this
Maybe because Arjun,
with like crazy angles.
Yeah, perhaps.
yeah, we did one of. I've shot like a couple of movies in that fucking study room because Arjun and I used to film our movies together. And I remember he was like, "Oh, we can, everyone had roommates," and he was like, "Oh, we can go to the study lounge or whatever." Dude, I walked in, I was like, "What the fuck is this?" Right? It's like
Yeah.
this 4x4 fucking windowless room with
It's
these
so bad.
strange stains on the ground. Like it's like,
We've hotboxed that room multiple times.
Yeah.
I think there was someone who someone for sure had sex in it multiple times too.
100%.
Multiple times.
Played poker. We've hotboxed the hallway, man. Let's
Yeah, that's
be
bad.
honest.
Like next to the RA, bro. And it's crazy because as you go on and you mature a little bit, you actually have RA friends and
Yeah.
you know people who are RAs. And then because when you're a freshman, you just seem so distant from
Yeah.
them, right?
Yeah, they seem like different, like
they
you
seem
know,
like
they seem
different
like a figure of
individuals.
authority.
Yeah. And then you realize they're just the same fuckers as you, you
Yeah.
know?
Exactly.
Which is that realization I feel like is just the part. Like,
But see, the
part
thing
growing
is,
up.
like, there was no reason for Amar to be that much of a dick, dude.
But we
Like,
were such dickheads to Gabe.
to Gabe, we were not. That's so
Dude.
nice. I was, dude. Come on, I'd go to every one. Okay, maybe you guys, but I went to every one of his events, all his like card game things, and I was super chill. Gabe, he was chill with us. He was super chill with us. he was just trying to be a nice, fun
the
RA.
thing is, like, dude, that hallway reeked
Yeah,
of
dude.
weed 24/7.
Oh, I remember.
It smelled like weed
There,
and
bro, there would
men.
be fuckers in that hallway that used to religiously smoke weed. They would smoke weed at 4:20 a.m. and p.m.
That's true. They wake up for 4:20.
Like, are you kidding me, bro?
Or they'd stay up till 4:20. It's ridiculous, dude.
Arjun has a great theory of why a certain type of person ends up at Trojan Hall.
Right. So the way this works.
Oh,
is
I do
that-
too, and I think we have the same theory.
Oh yeah, it's because everyone who ends up in Trojan Hall registers for housing
Late.
last.
And the people
So
that
who do you
register last
fucking get?
usually
The stoners.
procrastinate. Exactly.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And this trope carries on, because Oscar
Yeah.
actually knew people in Trojan Hall like a year
Oh.
later, and then another year
All
later.
stoners.
All
stoners.
All
Yeah,
stoners.
it makes
so
sense.
the trope continues.
Oscar was actually the last person in USC to register for housing.
Are you serious? Like the actual last?
Yeah, because
person?
he was the last number on Trojan
Oh
Hall.
my
he was the last
God.
door. Oscar was the last, and then Bryce was the second last because he was right next to him.
Hey, and what do you know? A lifelong friendship was born.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, yeah.
Trojan Hall, guys. He always shits on Trojan
I
Hall.
don't.
like-
I just.
People do,
yeah.
but go ahead.
I don't shit on. Like, I know Arjun had a great time then. He's obviously made a lot of, like, very close friends who I've met over the years from Trojan
Yeah.
Hall. But I shit on it because it's like just like the living conditions. It's like
It's bad.
it's a shit building. I'm not saying the people are shit, but it's the worst. The reason it's the one that gets filled up
It
last.
used to be really nice because that was like the honors dorm. It also used to be nice because they had like cafe, whatever. I don't know.
Oh,
but they
yeah,
apparently
yeah.
they had really good milkshakes, and they just decided to cut it like when we came.
They shut.
close.
Yeah, they shut it.
Ground Zero.
Ground Zero.
They
yeah.
do stand-up shows there as well.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
they
they
shut it
shut
down
down.
like the year we joined or something
Mhm.
stupid like that, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's like a cool area and it's like it's attached to a lot of cool buildings, but it's also I think it's like one of the oldest dorms, right? So it's also just
Mhm.
like out of date and there are those weird bars on the windows,
Yeah.
right? Like it's a little
It's a little bit of a sus character of a dorm.
yeah.
Sus
I'm not
character.
saying the amenities were amazing or something. It was just like a dorm, dude. But
Yeah, but I mean like I don't know. I would rather live in Trojan Hall than live in like New North or something, I feel like.
yeah, sure. Yeah, New North was. I don't know much about that. Anyway, we've gone on a long tangent for a while. I'll get to my story now, okay? So basically, my story happened sometime in high school, middle school. I think it was 7th grade, 6th grade, something like that. And this is another classic Arjun moment of walking home when I should not have been walking home. Basically, I was a really young kid, and it was after soccer practice.
Where were you? You were in Wisconsin?
No, it was in India.
Okay.
So I was in in Pune, and we had soccer practice. Coincidentally, another sports story on the podcast
Yeah.
today.
It's very sporty today.
Adil just brings the sports. Anyway, it was after soccer practice, football practice, as we called it back then, because,
As we call it everywhere except for this country.
yeah, Adil, remember that.
Of course.
Anyway, it was after football practice, and there were several grades that would participate in this football practice, and my brother's grade was also in this thing, right? And his friend, we'd carpool with him, so it was me, my best friend Neil, and my brother's friend Sushant in his grade. My brother broke his arm or something like that, so he wasn't going to soccer practice. Coincidentally, just like the two fast bowlers.
But the thing is, they actually had to use their arms.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
but they didn't let him play.
Yeah, you can't
Yeah,
play
you
with
can't
a
play with
broken
a broken arm,
dude.
bro.
Yeah, you're kidding.
Anyway, so he had a broken arm, so he couldn't play. So we'd just have soccer practice, and we'd go me, Sushant, Neil, and we'd go with either his dad, my parents.
What kind of team was this? Was this like made up of different ages or what?
No. So, sorry, my bad. So each grade had their own team.
Each
As in-
grade, or it should be each like age group.
No,
right?
each. Yeah, well, each grade.
like the same
each
thing,
Age
right?
group.
Well, no, like
Yeah.
you'd have like under 14, under 16. So you'd have 2 or 3 grades in one age group. It'd be really weird if you had just a 7th grade.
Oh yeah,
I
that's
don't-
true.
I don't remember, to be honest, but that may sound right.
Was your brother on your team?
No.
Okay.
No, he's 2.5 years older than me. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
see,
think.
that's
Yeah,
why I
honestly,
asked.
might be under 14, under 16.
Yeah, that's
type
what
of
you
thing.
usually. I mean,
But basically, we weren't in the same team as Sushant.
yeah.
And so me and Neil finished up soccer practice. Super cool, feeling super good about ourselves. And Sushant, and for some reason, so my flashback to the morning or something. I believe that my parents had told me that we're coming to get you after soccer practice or something, or my grandmother had told me that or something like that.
So this was in the morning.
No, this was in the evening.
So it was like an after school thing.
Yeah, after school. So my for some reason I had registered in my mind that someone was coming to pick me and Neil up. So Shant was going to go with his dad or whatever, and someone was coming to pick us up, either my grandmother or my parents or something. So when we exited the thing, I remember Sushant going like, "You guys are coming with us, right?" And I was like, No, my parents or someone's coming." And he was like, "Are you sure?" And he's like, and I was like, yeah, I'm definitely sure someone's coming. And Neil's like, "Okay, I'm obviously gonna go with Arjun." And Sushant and his dad leave, kind of like a little skeptical, but they're like, "Yeah, whatever, okay, so someone's coming." And this is also back in the day we didn't have mobile phones and all that shit. So Neil and I wait for like an hour, right? School clears out, cars go away. All the people who are on the soccer practice, they leave. Even our coach leaves, and I convince them, "Yep, someone's coming for us. Someone's coming." And at this point, we realize no one's no one's coming for us. So we decided to walk home. And our school was at least 6 kilometers 6 kilometers away from our house, which is, I don't know how many miles. How many miles is that?
It's like 3 and something. A little less than 3.
Something like 3 miles. So it's quite a ways, especially for 2 kids right after soccer practice with school bags. But we decided to walk back anyway. And we're walking back. We go through and it's actually really long because it took us like 20-25 minutes to go by car. And
6 km is like a half, like is the fun run marathon in Bombay. So like that's
yeah, it was a long time, and we walked for a very, very long time, and it started raining in the middle of us walking and stuff.
Shit, really?
And it became a really bad ordeal. But we made it like really close to our neighborhood.
Uh-huh.
And just when we made it really close to our neighborhood, we see 2 cars, and it's Neil's parents in one car and my grandmother in the other car. And we see the cars, and I don't know what we thought. I don't know why we thought this. The whole time walking back, we were like, oh man, this is so stupid. We should have just, went by like a taxi or a rickshaw or something, Well, they don't have taxis in Pune, but we should have just gone by a rickshaw. We don't have taxis. We should have just gone by rickshaw, or we should have, I should have gone with Sushant or whatever, right? But we didn't think this, and it was becoming more and more clear that us walking home was something that our parents wouldn't approve of. And when we saw Neil's parents and my grandmother, we were like, we gotta run, and we just ran. We ran away from them, dude, for the weirdest reason. We couldn't rationalize it, right? And then after like a bit of running, there were cars, they caught up to us. We just stopped, and they got out of the car and they started yelling at us. Clearly, they're like, "What the hell are you guys doing? Why are you running from us? Like, what the?" And and then we just get terribly scolded by his parents and my grandmother and my parents. And then the following day we go to school again. Even our coach has found out about this. Our teachers have found out about this. They've told the whole school, and we're just the idiots who walked home after soccer practice and then ran away from our parents when we saw them.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's funny. And so, how long were you at school after everyone left?
Like at least an hour or 2.
So what time did you finally get home?
Got home in the evening, maybe 6:30, 7.
That's crazy. And obviously both of your parents were like shitting themselves. They checked the school.
Yeah, exactly, right. Yeah, so they'd call the school, they'd call Sushant, and Sushant was like, fuck bro, he said someone was coming. Yeah. Sushant's dad obviously felt responsible and stuff, and he talked to us as well after. Yeah.
Crazy stuff, dude. What do you think, Adil?
Wild. A lot of your stories happen to be you walking back home. Places.
Yeah.
It's just
a recurring theme in my life.
In shady areas.
It's an Arjun moment.
Yeah, it's a really Arjun thing,
Yeah, I don't know why I like walking so much.
And walking in the weirdest areas at the weirdest times.
And you said you ran from your parents. Why again?
I can't rationalize it now, but see, the feeling was, on the way back, we were talking, me and Neil were total goofballs, and we were just goofing around the whole way back. But we slowly started to realize that, oh man, we shouldn't have walked home. This is the silliest thing ever. And, that thing, fear compounded, not fear, but that doubt of, is this a good idea, compounded into fear of our parents aren't going to approve of this.
Yeah, and then your parents are going to beat your ass.
And then we saw the
after you get
parents,
home.
we were like,
yeah, I lock in true.
Yeah.
I know the feeling.
Okay.
True.
It doesn't matter what I think, but I don't know, honestly.
I don't know.
No, I enjoyed the story, I'm just here for the vibes.
Okay. It's true. It's
yeah,
a true story.
shit. Okay, so this is crazy because Adil, you, after the first round, now have 3 points.
Yeah.
You've won and I have 0. So this is just ending up going to be one of those podcasts where I just I enjoy myself. Listen to the stories, just vibe,
No, you're still in the running with me, Let's see
but I'm just having a good time talking about sports.
No, we're not doing any more sports stories. I have banned sports stories in the rest of this podcast.
Sorry to break it to you, but my next story,
Very tough.
No, that's wild. Yeah, damn, Adil, you're on fire, dude, with the guesses.
Oh
and
yeah,
the-
dude.
Sometimes I can just relate to a little, what you guys say. Yeah, you the sports, you the parents. Oh, for sure, absolutely.
Desi parents.
That's
Yeah,
dude. There's only Desi people that understand how Desi parents work. Y'all ever heard of the too much fun clause?
no.
No.
Well, me and my cousins call it the too much fun clause. So if you have a lot of fun on Monday, ain't no way your parents gonna have you let fun on Tuesday. You know, you gotta play your cards right. If you have fun on Monday and Tuesday, you better sit your ass at home on Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I know. This is definitely a true thing. You can't have fun 2 days in a row.
You can't have fun 2 days in a row.
There's this meme on TikTok of like, your mom when you have fun 2 days in a row. It's like this girl like crying. Like,
Oh,
so funny.
that's so fucking crazy.
No. Shit. Okay, so my turn, right?
mm-hmm.
I actually don't know what story to tell. But I just remembered a story of mine that's similar to your experience. But basically, listeners of the podcast know that I used to go to like this ICSE school, which was the Indian system, and it was this massive like all boys school. So we would have like 30 kids per class, and we'd have per division, and we've had 3 divisions per grade. So it'd be at least 30 kids. So you'd have like 90 kids per class, right? Which is like pretty big, and it was like, from prep, which was like 1 year before first grade, all the way to 10th grade. So it was this like massive school, and we had 2 massive football grounds, and it was an all boys school. So it was a little rowdy and whatnot, and like you'd go like dressed all well in your uniforms, but by the end of the day, like you'd be playing sports or something along those lines. But the buildings had been there for years, like maybe 4 or 5 years ago, maybe longer actually, they celebrate like 150 years. So it's been like really old buildings, and like they made small renovations, but for the most part, like at least when I was a kid, it was like similar to like the old buildings. Like they put in a new bathroom, and they would redo the classrooms and paint it and stuff. But like it was like an old building, and there was always these like stories of like it being haunted and stuff. Okay, and one of the craziest feelings ever is like being in school once it ends. You know what I mean? Like, have you ever stayed like it's just you in the building? And it's
That
just,
shit's
like,
weird.
You know what I mean? It just feels so fucking odd, right? Like it feels like an entirely different place. And so I had like an after school activity I was part of the school play. And so we had to stay like, we had to stay in school for like...
What was the play?
I think it was called Which is Which or something like that.
Which is which?
Yeah, and it was about like this like... I don't know.
Sandwich and a witch.
It was like there was like an evil witch and a good witch, but the evil witch was pretending to be the good witch, and so we didn't know which witch was which. And so then like and it was just like one of those like 4th grade plays, and I had a really small role, but I wasn't like an actor in the play. I was just like the narrator. And so I only showed up at like the start, at the end, and I wasn't the only narrator because there were so many of us. Like each of us would like deliver one line, but I had a quote unquote important job because it was my job to introduce the play. And so I was the first line in the entire play, which was which is which, something.
He said that from his chest.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like that was my...
He's a theater kid, man.
I'm a theater kid. So it was like the school play or whatever, and so we were just like, because I only had like a part at the start of the play, right, which was this which is which, like we would just sort of sneak off while the rest of the rehearsal was going on, because we would be done by like the start, but you had to stay the entire time, because at the end they would give you instructions or in case they needed you or whatever. But me and my friend sort of just like sneaked away, my friend Ishan and I. And we were just like, chilling in one of the classrooms, just like fucking around or whatever. And, I don't know, we were playing like, do you know what odd and eve is?
Yeah.
Okay, so odd and eve is like, it's like rock, paper, scissors, but it's like, so you play with your hands, but it's like a cricket game, basically. And you'd say odd or...
Again, cricket.
Yeah.
Again.
Sorry. You'd say odd or even, and then you'd each do like a number, and if it adds up to odd, then the guy who said odd wins, and if it adds up to even, the guy who said even wins, and then you play cricket, and so you'd have a batsman and a bowler, and every like action.
So you just keep throwing numbers, and then if you match, the bowler like
gets the
wicket.
But
if otherwise, it's just you keep
just
adding.
making runs. So we
pretty
were
fun,
like
actually.
6, 5, 2,
Holy.
1. You know, and like you get really good at math, dude. My mental math is like spectacular because we were like you just count
Yeah,
so
just go.
quickly. And every school had like different. This is a tangent, but we had different like symbols for different things. So 1 to 6 was always the same, but then like we would have 7, which was like, you know, the Spider-Man thing, and we would have 8, which is an upside down thumbs up, and 9 was like finger guns, and 10 was the cowabunga thing. But a different school, like our symbol for 10 was like 100 and shit. So it was like this whole, you know, there was like each school had its own deep sort of rules. Anyway, we were just like fucking around, we were playing or whatever, and then we realized like, oh shit, like it's, you know, it's past 5, like it's time to head home. And I guess what ended up happening was the teacher was just so like, you know, just a bunch of fucking like 8-year-old, 9-year-old like boys, just all like rowdy and shit. She was just kind of exhausted, so she didn't even realize like 2 of us were just not there, right? Like we were missing. So we're like, oh shit, you know, it's time to go home or whatever. Our cars are probably here. And the issue is we didn't realize this because we hadn't really stayed in school that long, especially without a group. But they like locked like the doors between the corridors, but they weren't really doors. They were like these like metal gates, you know, that opened and closed. And so they locked it. And so we were just sort of stuck in like this quadrant of classes. And we didn't know how to get out. We didn't have a key. And, you know, we're kind of scared, you know, and you're alone at school. And, you know, it's like, it's just a weird moment. And there were all these rumors about like these ghosts around because, you know, it was an old building. And when we were in upper KG, like, there was this woman named Lakshmi Bai who used to like clean the floors and stuff in the prep. But she had unfortunately passed away like she had a heart attack in one of the bathrooms,
That's scary.
right? And so like there was
Dude,
That's
scary.
really
That would be
scary.
So scary.
isn't that crazy? And so everyone was like, oh, you know, Lakshmi Bai's ghost haunts the school at night and
Lakshmi
shit.
Bhai?
Bai, like
By
yeah,
B-A-I.
yeah, like
Okay.
Bai, yeah, it's a Marathi word for like woman.
yeah, woman.
That's
yeah.
so interesting.
So
like you
Lakshmi
call like a woman Bai.
Bai,
You know?
yeah, like an older, usually like an older.
Very Bhai?
Yeah, like not Bhai
Not
as brother,
Bhai.
Yeah.
and then
I
Bai.
know.
Yeah, so Lakshmi Bai, and you know, people like, you know, like we had a kid in our class, and he's like, oh, my brother once came to school late at night and they saw her ghost, like, and so we were like, whatever, like 9 or whatever, and like we're freaking out, like, oh shit, what's gonna happen? Like, what if, you know, and like really scared, you know, almost on the verge of crying or whatever. We were like shaking the kid, like, please help us, like, you know, like get us out of here.
Please help!
You know, like we need to leave and shit. And like eventually like a janitor just pulled up and we were like, oh my god. And he was like, what the fuck, what are you guys doing here? And it was like, you know, it was maybe we were there for like 15 minutes longer than we needed to be, but like for us it felt so like scary and long. And then he opened the gate. We just went home, and my driver was like, "Where were you?" And we were just like, "Oh, haha, we got stuck or whatever." And then I told my mom, and they were like, "Just don't be an idiot, don't leave." And that was it. There weren't really any consequences or whatever.
I know that image of you like,
Yeah,
Please help us! Please!
you know, stuck behind these like metal bars, just like freaking out.
Lakshmi Bhai.
Yeah, I think.
Lakshmi Bhai, bro.
Bye.
It's
Bhai.
hard for me to say it without saying Bhai.
Yeah, no, like bye, like.
Bye.
The woman who used to come and clean our house was also called like Vita Bai. So that it was just like
Bai.
a common.
Bye.
Yeah, bye.
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 Bhai.
Bhai is where is that from? What movie is that from?
Munna Bhai?
Are Bhai. Yeah. Circuit and Munna
Bhai.
Bhai. Are Bhai. And they call Salman Khan Bhai, right?
You know, I had a Bangladeshi teacher once, and she was a doctor, but she got her degree from like India and or not India, but some place in Asia. She had an MBBS.
Oh shit. Okay.
And I told her, this was really disrespectful on my part. I told her, you know, I sat there, I was like in her office hours, and you know, she's Bangladeshi, I'm Pakistani, I'm
Was
telling
this
you.
like
This is
college?
Like, yeah, this
Oh,
was
shit.
college. This was college. Yeah, and I told her because she was a really nice lady, you know, and like I was, like we had like a good, you know, teacher-student relationship, and I just told her, I don't know what came over me. I was just like, you know, I've never really seen anybody in real life have an MBBS. And she goes, I think it's like a common thing. I was like, no, the only person I've ever heard of have an MBBS was from a Bollywood movie. And she started laughing her ass off. She goes, Munna Bhai? And I was like, yeah, that's the one.
It's a great movie,
That's so
dude.
fucking funny, dude.
That is funny. Munna Bhai, great film, dude.
Yeah.
Has to be
Great
said.
movie.
Even the
Great movie.
sequel, dude, changed course.
I don't remember that.
I knew there was a sequel. I've never
It was
seen
called Lage Raho Munna.
Oh,
Bhai.
yeah.
I've seen it. I've
And
seen
it
it.
was like
Yeah.
he got hit on the head or something, and he used to see this like image of Gandhi ji, and then he thought it was real, and he was like he changed his life, and he became like a peaceful politician or something.
Wow.
And then they were like, no, bro, he's not real. Like no one else can see him, Munna Bhai. And he was like, no, you're not wrong. It's crazy, bro. It's such a good movie. Like.
That's amazing.
Anyway, back to the story.
Yeah, what do you
Lock and
think?
True.
Lock and true.
Bro, you don't ask any questions. You're just like, lock in, true. Let's go.
I can usually tell when people are lying.
Yeah.
You think
What
so?
do you think?
I think false. I
Yeah.
think false because
The
I
way he
don't know.
said that makes me very, very, very questionable now because he got really proud when I said I think I could tell when people lie.
Yeah.
I'll still lock it true though.
yeah, I mean you locked
You
in.
know,
True.
I locked
you can't
it in.
change
I can't
it.
change it. Yeah.
No, it's false. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
that never
false.
happened. I mean, like the Lakshmi Bai thing was true, but I was like,
That one made sense.
yeah, like that part was true, but
That detail got me. I'm not gonna lie.
And the which is which, I think we performed maybe in the second grade or something. But apart from that, none of that was true. Like,
really, wow,
Yeah.
very good. You
like
had
I
me.
think- Yeah.
Adil,
You had
God
me.
damn it! I thought you could tell if people were lying, huh?
Hey, I guess I was the one lying in that one.
Shit, no, but crazy, dude. Yeah. Damn. Okay, so you're 1 point, I'm 1 point. You're still 3 points. So you're still in the lead. And yeah,
Let's hear it. Next
hear
story.
it.
Honestly, it's a lot of pressure. Before I came here, I was thinking about like what 2 stories am I gonna tell these guys. I had one story in mind. I didn't tell that one. I'm not going to because just the way the conversations have been trending, I feel like I've already told I could have turned a couple of these into stories
Yeah,
themselves.
for sure.
I really could have.
Just like
Yeah.
the last one you told us.
Oh,
Oh,
know?
the pissing one, the Munna
Well, I
Bhai
know the
one,
pissing
Yeah, the Munna Bhai one was
the
hilarious.
football
dude.
one where you lost 13 love and then. or 13
That's what I'm
and
saying, man. And then 9-0. I honestly, in that one, we scored 1 goal the entire season.
Did you score it?
That it was me.
Shit, bro.
Oh man, but yeah,
you guys with your self-proclaimed sports conquest.
bro. You know it's so funny because I used to like get so tired in well I still do, but in like 3rd grade, like me, I had no lungs, no lung capacity, so I always wanted to be a defender so I could just chill in the back. And I scored that 1 goal, and all of a sudden they made, no, you're the striker, bro. You're the MVP of the team. And I'm like, dude, I'm not trying to do none of this, man. It got so bad to the point where, like, literally my dad was running along the sidelines with me. He had a little cup of water for me, so the ball would come away from me. I'm like, oh, thanks, Dad. And then I'd go back in, bro. It was like that.
I love it because I feel like every like kid who like liked sports around our age has one of these stories where they had like this epic moment and they remember it fondly, and it's it's the version of like there's always that one character you'd meet who's like, oh, I could have gone professional, but I had like an ACL.
Oh, yeah, I had a little ACL tear.
I could have, but my injury
Yeah.
stopped it, and it's like a smaller scale version of that, which is like I wasn't very good, but at least I had this thing to back it up.
Would you guys make your kids play sports?
If they wanted to, I feel like I would never force it on them.
How about you?
I think I wouldn't make them, but like
I would
I'm
make
pretty
it a
sure
priority
my kids
at
would
some
play
point.
sports.
There's like this meme on like British Instagram or whatever where it's like it's like it's like a picture of this like young kid sleeping and he's being woken up by these 2 like police guards and being told to get out of the cell or whatever. I don't know where it's from, and it's like me waking my kid up to in 2027 for Project Mbappe or
Oh
something.
my god, Project Mbappe.
It's so funny. It's like, yeah, dude, like the moment you have whatever, like whoever your kid comes out, just put a football at their feet and hope for the
I
best.
saw a video yesterday where it was like this dad and his young son, and the captions are like, yesterday my son told me, he was like, hey dad, can we go to the track like on Sunday, do like just run around or whatever, play catch. Dad didn't have time that day, so he was like, you know what, son, let's do it tomorrow. Son wakes him up really early in the morning. He's like, Dad, can we, like do this? And then Dad's like, all right. And then it's like Sunday morning, and they're doing their little activities. And then the son goes up to the dad. He's like, Dad, can we make this every like Sunday type thing? And dad gets all, you know, all emotional. He's like, man, I can't believe my son's asking. This is amazing, you know. And I thought about that. I was like, man, that's so corny. And then I was like, you know what, though? If my son asked me, he was like, let's do drills on Sunday, I'd be like, let's fucking do it, man. He's serious. I'm about to take him to the pros.
Have you seen Nathan For You?
No, I know about that show,
so it's really funny. Obviously, in one of these like skits or whatever, one of these episodes, he does this thing where he signs child athletes that he believes can become pro, and then he tries to get them sponsorship.
Oh my God.
Local sporting goods stores, and he's like, you know, take the chance now, because if he's famous, then you know you get. And they do like he does like a version, like it's so strange to say out of context, but he like takes like photos of this kid and tries to age him up to see what he would look like when he was like the age of it.
That's amazing.
Hilarious. No, but I think sports are like really important for just like, you know,
Development
and stuff.
Yeah, like I'd encourage my kid to play sports.
Yeah.
And I think it's really good for like, you know, you learn a little bit about leadership that way, and like camaraderie and what it means to like have a team.
Yeah.
So I think
be
those
good
are
at something and, you know, work in a team.
Yeah, and I think it's also really important to get your kids to start learning, if not a sport, then at least a certain like skill when they're young, so that they can develop it when they're old. Like, I mean, I wish I played an instrument when I was a kid.
Yeah.
You know, like I think it'd be cool. Like I can learn now, but I would be crazy good if I had started playing if I was like, you know, maybe 7 or 8. But yeah, so let me get to this real story here. So
This real story.
So my parents, I mean, I'm pretty sure you can relate. My parents are pretty strict when it comes to, well, I don't know if you can relate because you lived in a different country, but my parents are pretty strict when it comes to Islam. So you know, usually it's no music. They've never explicitly told me no music, but it's always been like that expectation because they don't listen to it. They don't really like do any of that shit. So another thing is that it's just like very explicitly, you know, they always made this like no girls like whatsoever, you know, like no girlfriends, no like literally, bro, it's so fucked up because they'll be like, you can't really even like be talking to him like that. Like my dad doesn't really give a fuck, but my mom kind of does. She's just like, why are you like talking to these people, you know? I'm just like, I'm like mom, they're literally like, I have to do a project, bro. Like I can't get around it, you know?
Is the expectation that one day you'll get like arranged married to someone? And
well, no, I would hope I'd find someone that's Muslim that I can marry, you know? Like I think that would be ideal. I honestly would hope they were Pakistanis too, you know, like same culture as me. And if they're not, then we'll just see what my parents have to say. But
the classic culture clash at the wedding.
Yeah, you know, it's like a movie. Does anybody object? My dad stands up.
I support it. You know,
imagine if you
character arc.
marry a girl from India and everything's going smoothly, and then at the wedding, like your uncle and her uncle start fighting about cricket or something.
Start feuding. It's like, that'd be so funny. Yeah, I mean, it was so strict to the point where like sometimes my parents would like check my phone. Like my dad, you know, and so like I would make sure to like have all my music apps deleted, have all my like conversations with people deleted, all you know, whatever bullshit I had in my camera roll at the time. Maybe it was like some stupid Snapchat, like have that deleted, right? I would even change the names of girls on my phone. What I would do, I had a system, right? So like the girls, I wasn't even doing anything with these girls. They were literally like my friends that I would text, right? It was nothing more than that. I would change their first name into something that was, you know, that could make me tell it was them, but I would keep their last name the same. So for example, Jamie became James. Exactly. Erica was Eric.
Okay.
Kudrat was Kevin. So you know, I would keep the same first letter of the first
Kevin
name,
and then like some like Desi last name.
Nanar. Yeah, but it went like that. So prom was obviously not an option for me. Never. Why would I ask about that? You know, I've already prefaced it with how strict my parents could be. So for prom though, I didn't really have the intention of going. But you know, my friends kind of reeled me into it, and they didn't even go to the same school as me. They went to like a rival school, but I had you know, they're some of my best friends right now too. I'm more friends with them than I am with, like, you know, most people, and more friends with them than I am anyone from my high school. So anyways, their prom was going on. I didn't have a prom date, you know, and I was like, dude, I don't even have a prom date. Like, what am I gonna do? You know, they're like, don't worry, bro. Just go out with one of the mutual friends. I was like, oh, fuck it, you know, I'll take her, whatever. So we're out at prom, and well, this was actually a very like strategic plan, because how am I gonna like say I went to prom and I drank at a prom party and come back home, you know, like unscratched, and my parents would buy it. So I tell my parents, I also did debate in high school. So I tell my parents, I'm like, hey, I'm going to be judging a middle school debate tournament.
I guess it justifies the suit.
Exactly, right?
Yes, yeah.
Exactly, yeah. So that's why they're like, okay, so he's judging a middle school debate tournament. I'm like, that's exactly why I'm in a tie and everything, right? And it wasn't even like I had my regular tie on, so they could think I was going to the middle school, and then I had to swap ties because I don't know, the girl wanted my tie to match her dress and some other bullshit, right? Like, I didn't give a fuck about that.
Wait, I thought you didn't have a date.
I went took a mutual friend.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she went. She was in our friend group.
Okay. So she was your date, though, kind of.
Yeah.
Okay.
What was her name? Can you tell us?
Sarah.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Okay, was that name just improv, right?
Yeah.
What was her last name?
Also Sarah.
Amir.
Sarah Amir.
Yeah.
Okay.
And where are they going with this? But yeah.
Was she Daisy?
She was.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, she
Her
was.
last name was apparently Amber. Can't imagine she was white.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, like, wait, so how do you spell Sarah?
The same way you'd spell it, Sarah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I tell my parents I'm at a middle school debate tournament, and you know, while I'm at prom, and we didn't do any dances or any of that. We didn't even go to the actual like prom thing for that school. We literally just had dinner, and I don't know. We took some pictures, and like I've never looked at those pictures since, because I didn't give a fuck. I was just trying to get fucked up the entire night, you know. So everyone from my friend group had we all threw in some money for an Airbnb. So after the dinner, you know, we all went to the Airbnb and just changed out of our not costumes, changed out of our suits and everything, and you know, we started turning up a little bit, started drinking a bit, whatever. I'm probably maybe like 3 or 4 shots in, right? And it's like, I'm like, woo, nice. It's maybe 11 o'clock, maybe 12 o'clock. And, you
How
know,
old were you again?
18.
Okay, so this was like end of high school.
Senior year of high school, yeah. And I think to myself, I'm like, oh, fuck. This middle school debate tournament's running pretty late, you know. What do I do here? And I had the very good fortune of actually having a debate tournament the week before the prom, and that debate tournament actually ran until 2 a.m.
Oh, sick. Okay.
Yeah. So because that debate tournament ran until 2 a.m., I could convincingly tell my parents, like, hey, middle schoolers, you know, they just got a lot to talk about. It's just so they would believe me up until like 1, because the debate tournaments usually run pretty late. So I actually had one of my homies, Lewis. I told him, Lewis, and this is my master plan, bro. Nothing tops this. I told Lewis, I was like, yo, I'm gonna need you to text my mom, and this is like maybe 12:45 a.m., right, midnight. I tell him, I need you to text my mom this. Hey, mama, this is Adil. My phone died, so I'm using Lewis's phone right now. But the debate tournament's running a little late. I think we're gonna be done around 2 a.m. We might get some food later, so I'll be back at 3.
Okay.
I'll be back at 3, right? So and Lewis isn't at this party whatsoever. He's just a homie, and he does me this solid. And you know,
he's part of the debate. He knows, like, your parents.
He knows the
part of
plan.
the
He knows the
debate
plan.
thing.
Yeah. And he's not part of the prom group, but he knows what I'm doing. And I texted to him, or he texted my mom, and My mom's like, okay, beta, you know, perfect, fine, whatever. I'll just. She doesn't sleep, by the way, until I come back home. Very sweet,
shit.
very sweet. Yeah,
Mhm.
but sometimes it gets really annoying. And yeah, so it's 3
My
a.m.
dad used to do that too.
Yeah, I think up to the point my parents used to do that, and then they was like, "Here, take a key, like fuck off." Just go. The rule was, if I came home whatever time, I had to go into my parents' room and say, "Hey, I'm home."
Oh
And
my
if
god.
I didn't, that would be a problem. Like one time I didn't, and I got woken up at like 6 a.m. and there were like 20 calls on my phone, and my mom was like, "Where were you?" And I was like, "Oh fuck, I just forgot to like." Anyway.
My parents do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's like maybe 1:30, and I'm like, I'm super drunk, you know? And I'm like, okay, now I have to find a way to get home, and it's maybe 2:30 a.m. I have the homie Rushil drive me home, right? Rushil drives me home. I come back super fucked.
What's Rachel's last name?
I don't know. No, Shah, yeah, Shah. And so we come
Really
back.
shitting the bed on these names,
Yeah,
bro.
Hey man, it's been a long time, and you know I come back home and it's like maybe I think 2:30 ish, maybe around 3, and my mom's just like, you know, she looks really tired, and I'm drunk, and like I'm not trying to tell her what happened. I just look at her and I'm like, hey mom. She's like, hey, how was the tournament? I go, exhausting. And I don't know if I slurred my words or not, but I might have. And, you know, and I just took it upstairs, had a great night, and went to bed. Woke up the next morning, and not a damn thing was told to me about, oh, you went to prom and this and that. So you know, that's one of my biggest achievements, I'd say.
Crazy. Okay.
Yeah. Interesting.
Here's the issue. I buy the story.
Yeah,
But the names, dude, yeah.
The way you reacted to Sarah, you were just like, wait, what was your last name? Amir. Sarah, Amir. And then,
Oh, fuck, dude.
Rochelle,
And then you went,
I don't know.
Oh, where am I going with this? You might be playing us, dude. If you're playing us, spectacular. But
Maybe, dude. That'd be wild,
I
right?
think I have to say false. I buy the story. The names just sound a bit.
The names. Damn. Maybe next time I come on here, I'll look up some names just to say some
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, I'm locking in false.
Me too, yeah. False.
It's completely true.
Yeah, bro, he played us.
And Sarah Amir is also still one of my really good friends today.
You didn't know her last name.
No, I knew her
Or
last
no.
name.
What
He
about
was-
Rushil?
I knew his last name too.
He was
Kind of.
playing us, dude.
Yeah.
No way, bro.
Yeah, bro. Well played.
Shit, no,
Thank
that's
you.
the reason that's spectacular. And is because now he's 5 points. And he has a chance to beat Diksha.
Oh, yeah. You're tied with the leader right now.
I'm really upset I didn't get yours right.
Yeah, you
I'm
would
really upset, dude.
So if you get this one right, you'll
You-
be the champion.
Yeah, the best to ever
The
do
current
it.
champion.
And so we have plans.
We'll talk. We have to talk about that
Yeah.
after the podcast.
I mean, we've spoken about this a little bit on previous podcasts.
okay. Yeah.
But we want to do get everyone who was on this season back and get the
and
guests
do a
to
Zoom
compete.
call, and then
Wow.
everyone competes against everyone.
Yeah.
That's gonna be sick.
But no, sorry.
Wow, I'm really glad I got both you guys. I just feel good about
Shit,
myself.
dude.
I was sitting there, I was like, how do I fool
Really
them?
well played,
No, that
dude.
was really well played, and I think
I think,
you know-
dude, we fell for it because I guess I didn't. I took you to be like your fooling abilities to be less because the whole like thinking.
Hey man,
of
I've
the
been
names
fooling
thing.
my parents since I was born. How do you think I've been doing this all day?
But it's like a double fake, right? Because it's
Yeah.
like you're pretending that you don't know the name.
Yeah.
Like, it's really good.
I definitely knew the names, bro.
no,
Yeah.
it was well done, and it was also just like part of me was like, you know what, I'm happy if it's like false, because then it's like, okay, game on, right, for the final.
All right, bro. Let's
Okay.
do my story, and if you get this right, you'll be the top scorer, dude. Top
Okay.
fucking scorer. Wait,
So I've lost. Oh no, I'm tied with you right now. So if Adil gets it
how is
right,
that possible though? Oh no, that is possible.
because we both have 1 point, right?
We both have 1 point. He scored 1, 2, 3.
He
Or
has
no, 1,
5.
2.
Because
I had 3,
he guessed mine,
and I guessed
Mhm.
yours.
then
right.
he fooled me. That's 2, and he guessed yours right. So that's
Okay,
3,
okay.
and then
So 8 points is the maximum that a guest can get.
yeah, well, yeah.
1, 2,
Yeah, yeah.
4.
2,
Yeah, 4.
five,
Okay.
10, yeah.
Cool, man. Mr. Champion out here.
Wow, you're
Alright.
really trying to jinx me.
Yeah.
All right, let's do this. So, this is a story that goes back a long time. I was a really mischievous kid.
Locking in false. Just kidding. Go ahead.
I was a really mischievous kid, actually. I was really notorious for a lot of different things.
Shenanigans.
And my friends, especially this dude in my colony named Ashray Mehta, super also mischievous. He was a terrible influence on me. Super cool guy though, really nice guy. But we'd get up to like a lot of dumb shit that we should not have been getting up to as kids. Like we wanted to try all the shit. Like we wanted to go to like hookah bars and like, you know, go to fucking play pool in places we shouldn't have been playing pool. We wanted to like, you know, try beer and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So when you said kid, you're like 16 or something.
No, like 6th grade.
Damn, you wanted
What?
to try beer at the
7th grade.
ripe old age of 12.
Yeah, you're
Yes,
like 12.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
Which is why it was a terrible influence. Like, I mean, 16, yeah, try beer. I've tried,
Yeah.
like, beer by then.
Yeah.
But we wanted to at least taste it, you know? We wanted to do
Okay.
all this stuff. But this is not about the beer. This is about cigarettes, specifically. And this is actually a really weird and disgusting story, so just be prepared.
Okay.
So what happened is, it was me, Ashray, our friend David, and our friend Gurudev, okay? And
Who?
Gurudev.
Wow. All right.
Yeah, imagine naming your kid Gurudev in like
Okay, bro,
1990.
don't make fun of his name.
Okay.
Anyway, so it was us four, right? And we had already done the beer thing. We had already tried beer and stuff, and we wanted to do something new. We weren't really like impressed with beer, so we were like, all right, let's do cigarettes, dude. Let's do cigarettes next.
So you tried beer at this point.
Yeah. So David was 2 years older than us, and he was able to source the beer from
Okay.
like a shop. They somehow gave it to him.
Okay.
But anyway, we were like, we want to try cigarettes, and we didn't want to buy the cigarettes. So this is where things get weird, okay? We knew these kids that were a lot older than us, the 11th, 12th graders. They would sit in the lawn, our colony's lawn, like the lower levels where it was really secluded, and they would smoke cigarettes. And we knew they would do this, and all, you know, all the kids were afraid of them and stuff. But what happened is, Ashray, what he did is, he went, like what we did is, okay, we all went, but Ashray was the mastermind behind this plan. He took the cigarette butts and then he squeezed out the cigarette tobacco from the ends of the cigarette butts that people had already smoked. And he did this for like at least 15 to 20 cigarettes.
Jeez,
And he
okay.
separated all the ash from the thing, and he took the tobacco, like that end bit of tobacco, that's really strong end bit of tobacco, because all the thing gets sucked into that thing. It's kind of gross, but it's not actually that gross when you think about it, because
It
no
sounds
one's
very gross.
no one's actually like, no one's spit is on it or whatever, but it's just the end tobacco, right?
But it's on the ground.
It wasn't really on the ground because it's in the cigarette, right?
Okay.
It's still in the cigarette butt. And so he took all that tobacco, and he had like a large amount of it. Like it was actually like a palm full of that amount of tobacco. And our next quest was like, how do we smoke it? So we bought a lighter, and then we rolled it in like a dry leaf. We rolled it, like kind of rolled it more like it held together in a leaf, right? And then we were taking turns like sparking it and like lighting the thing and passing it around, like seeing what would happen, right, if we like did it. And so
How did he roll the cigarette again?
we, in a dry leaf, like we took this like dryish leaf. I don't know if you know this, but like there are these things in India called beedis. Do you know what beedis are? They're basically like kind of like, we didn't use a beedi leaf, but we kind of saw how people used to roll in beedi leaves, and we took a dry leaf and we rolled it kind of like that.
I thought all the time I thought BD was just a Hindi word for cig, but I know what you're talking about. Whether
No,
use, like,
beedis are
specific
specifically
types of
like
okay.
cheap cigarettes that are rolled in leaves.
Okay.
A certain type of leaf. I don't know.
Okay.
But anyway, it's a cheap cigarette that's rolled in like a leaf. So we thought like, yeah, let's roll it in a leaf. So we rolled it in a leaf, right? And it kind of held together. It wasn't like a pretty cigarette by any means or anything. But we took turns with our lighter, and we hold it to our mouth and breathe in and try and get some of the thing. And it wasn't really sparking properly because obviously it wasn't a well-rolled cigarette or whatever. And we took turns. But somehow for Gurudev, like it worked. Like something was right with the motion, or he held it perfectly and it sparked. and he got a proper like inhale, and he obviously inhaled part of the tobacco as well,
Oh jeez.
in addition to the smoke, and he and he like bent over like gasping and coughing and like retching, dude. It was, like,
Oh my god.
not a pretty sight, dude, and it was really really bad. And he was, after he coughed up the thing, he continued to like he was just on the ground like retching for some reason.
Oh god.
And I can actually relate to this because I tried a really really hard tobacco when I was in 11th grade, and like it can make you really fucked, like it can fuck you out.
Tobacco's very strong, dude.
Yeah, and if like you can inhale it and then like your body physically wants to like throw it up, so you want to throw it. So he was like on the floor retching for like a long time, at least like 2 minutes, right? And during these 2 minutes, like we were freaking out, right? We were these 12-year-old kids, like, dude,
12 years old, bro.
yeah.
See that? Yeah, that's
We
crazy.
needed to take him to the hospital, right? And you know, we didn't do that,
Okay.
but like we were freaking out, and we carried him, like someone took his legs and I took his arms, and we carried him across the lawn. But then eventually he was just like he struggled out, and he's like, "Guys, just shut the fuck up! Like I'm fine, don't do it, don't do it." And yeah, we eventually just like, you know, got him to be okay, cleaned up the mess, and
He yacked?
made an exit.
He threw up?
He didn't really throw up. He just was like,
What mess did you clean up?
like the cigarette.
Oh, yeah.
And the fucking, yeah, he didn't throw up. He just kind of like,
Dry heaved?
yeah. I mean, it was definitely, there was saliva on the ground.
God.
It was not a pretty sight, dude. And we were just like, okay, yeah, we don't fuck with cigarettes anymore.
That's great.
Till 3 years later. But, yeah.
Until you were 15. Much grown.
Yeah.
Much more grown.
But yeah, this is my first encounter with cigarettes.
What I mean, it was barely even a cigarette, right? Like
Yeah,
it
well,
was-
tobacco, let's say.
Okay.
Tobacco. And I mean, I had done hookah already.
At 12? Who the
Yeah.
fuck was serving you hookah at 12, bro?
Dude, they really don't give a fuck in Pune, dude.
They just want. I mean, I
Yeah.
would assume it's most
It's
of
just
that
the
area.
money,
Yeah,
right?
it's
Bro,
just
there's
money.
no way anyone at 12, like in Bombay would have, maybe, but not in like where I
The thing
live.
is, see, you don't go in like with just 12-year-olds, as in
Oh, you
like
go
your
with like
Ashra's cousin showed up and he's 15, so like, you know, he swaggers in. And
Oh,
gets in,
yeah.
you know, like
even at
Comes out
15 just
chest
seems
out,
literally
chin up.
young still,
Nah,
yeah.
dude.
For me, it was like 16, 17 was like around the time people started. I mean, I did.
well,
'cause
that's
I
when
was-
you started doing it like normally, but you
Yeah.
wanted to try all this stuff back then, right?
Interesting, dude. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know. Not me, but yeah.
Yeah, this guy's okay.
Some
On a high horse.
straight edge, dude. I've never done it. That's a lie. We just talked.
Neither of y'all smoke anymore now, huh?
Yeah.
I never smoked. No.
You've never smoked ever?
No,
Not like a single thing?
not a single
He
thing.
does edibles though.
Wow, that's very
I've done
good.
edibles like
he
twice.
does.
I respect that a
edibles.
lot.
I've only done. I mean, it's my nose. Like I was telling you, my nose is like fucked up. So yeah, I just don't want to test it. And, yeah.
I mean, I have nothing against weed. I think weed is like a great substance. It's just I don't want to do it currently in this stage of my life. So.
Yeah, same. I have nothing against weed. I just crazy, dude.
So you want to ask any questions? What do you think, Adil? Champion time or no champion time?
Wow, that's-
What?
Why would
Why
you
are you
put
doing this, bro?
all the pressure on me?
Yeah.
It's okay, pressure makes diamonds. But, I mean, I feel like this was a really tame story.
Tame?
Tame.
What do you mean by that?
Tame. Dude, I feel like your stories in India are really fucking insane. You know what I mean? Like, I'm so used to hearing you telling me about some bullshit that happened in India that I'm just like, what the fuck? You know?
Arjun definitely had, like, I think my craziest stories happened in the US and Arjun's craziest stories.
Yeah, no, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Have you told anybody on the podcast about your story with you taking acid and going into that cave?
Kind of.
I haven't said that on the podcast because that's, I don't know, I feel like that's more of like a religious, spiritual thing that
Yeah.
happened to me.
Yeah.
That was one of the first stories I like Arjun ever told.
Yeah, that was literally the first
Yeah.
story he told me freshman year.
Crazy.
And I was like,
That's
this guy's
funny.
lit. I'm going to hang around with him a little more.
No, and I've been saying this a lot recently, but that's around the time Arjun became like my acid friend, and so anytime anyone was like, oh, you know, I did acid, and I was like, you know what, my friend Arjun had a similar.
He's also
experience.
done acid.
Yeah.
You're living vicariously
Yeah,
through him.
yeah.
So do I have to make a choice first, or does can Aman?
You
I don't
should,
decide.
like, you're the
Yeah.
first guest who's not asked any questions. You've just been like, I'm locking in true. No more information.
No, because the
needed.
thing is, dude, I kind of trust my gut more so than I do asking you guys questions. You guys could do the same thing I did and fuck around and add and answer the questions all weird and dance around the wording
True.
and all that. So,
Okay, sure, man.
See, I can't really help you because that's just the rule.
yeah.
So
okay.
he gives his thoughts and you can ask me questions.
I can ask you questions.
You
but
can.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So, who was your friend that started retching on the ground?
Gurudev.
Gurudev.
Sweet guy.
Was
dude.
Neil with you?
No.
No.
So you said there were like how many of you?
4 of us. Me, Ashray, David, and Gurudev.
Where did they write? Like, what are they up to in life?
Ashray
I'm locking in true.
is an engineer.
You don't have to answer that because he locked in true.
Why did you lock it in at that moment, though?
I don't know, man. Someone just told me.
True.
Okay. All right, Aman.
I think it's false. It just sounds so. But I mean, I don't really know. It sounds so crazy. At 12, and you rolled it in a fucking leaf,
Yeah.
and he sat and like separated the ash from the
And that's
tobacco.
the crazy thing, because of the shit that I've heard this guy do in India, I believe it.
But at 12, bro, like some Donnie sitting there picking up cigarette butts and then separating the tobacco and then collecting it, and then somebody has the bright idea. Bro, that sounds so fake to me. I say fake.
All right, you've locked in, so I'm gonna tell you it is fake.
Uh,
Damn!
It's fake.
Shit.
But let me tell
Oh
you
my
the part
God.
about the cigarette butts and Asher taking the thing and
That's
collecting
true.
the tobacco. That is true. We just never like did anything with it. He just
Okay.
had this collection of tobacco that he had.
See, I could so see you smoking that too. Is the thing. It's the crazy
Yeah,
thing.
no, but the smoking bit was the like least believable part. Like the leaf, I just no.
Really?
Yeah, I just didn't. I don't know.
People rolled beaties, bro. You know that's it.
Yeah, but like to just find a leaf on the ground and use just like secondhand tobacco at 12. Like, the fuck are you, bro? Like,
Maybe, bro.
I guess I
know
also I
people-
also took into account that he told a false story. I told a
Yeah.
false story, and I was like, "There's no way."
yeah, no, that
Oh, yeah.
that
See, that's the
plays with
thing that
people a
trips
lot,
people
dude.
up because
Yeah.
often people also do the same thing you did, where you tell a true story first and then they tell a false story.
Yeah.
Really, that's a very interesting trend.
Or people.
But you told 2 true stories though.
Yeah.
So
But people will do like, people will do
they'll come with 1 true story and 1 false story.
Yeah.
Or
And I thought, and I knew that one of you guys would do some shit like that. But you did a true and false, and you did a true and false.
Yeah.
Right. So I was more so expecting you to do either 2 true or 2 false.
Yeah, no. So like our
so
first episode.
yeah, we try to avoid like after the first. Oh
Yeah.
tell them what happened.
So our first episode, Arjun told a true story, and then I guess told a true story, and then I think they expected me to tell a false story, but I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'll tell a true story.
Yeah.
And then Arjun told another true story.
Ah,
And
you guys are fucking with them, bro.
guys told another true story, and then everyone was like, okay, you know what, this last story has to be fake. But then I was like, no, fuck that. So
Yeah,
I told
might
a
as
true
well.
story, and
So we just had 6 true stories in the first episode.
Damn, I'm really
So
upset.
after that,
dude.
we were just like, well, fuck, we're not gonna do like just tell stories that come to mind. Don't like think about it like that. So
Yeah, no, that's exactly. See, I came in. Well, when you told me that how this podcast is structured, I was kind of like, okay, how am I gonna tell a false story? Like,
yeah.
and there's a lot of different nuances, I guess, into telling
Yeah.
stories.
No,
And
there really is.
I think telling a false story is like extremely like
It's
challenging
difficult, bro.
to sell it.
it's difficult.
I-
in comparison to a true story.
It's interesting because like when you tell a true story, I feel like you're a lot more lax with the details because you know it's true.
yeah.
So like I'm more okay in my head to be like,
Exactly.
I don't really remember, or oh, it was like this, and like that's why sometimes when I tell false stories I try to do that too, but it's just like and also it depends. So we've had a lot of guests come on and tell like really good false stories, but like 2 episodes ago we had this friend of ours from the film school, and she told this really good false story, and both of our first instincts were like, bro, it's so good that like
It has to be.
It has to be.
happened.
no, it has to be true. But
It was like so believable in the
Yeah.
sense like she had created these like very believable characters, but they were like characters who we've seen before.
yeah, and then that's when like
and she fooled me,
She's-
but
or like Diksha, the person you're tied with, she did something really similar where they came in with like a planned fake story, and so sometimes like we've now told this is our 9th episode. We've told 18 episodes, 18 stories each, right?
Yeah.
I'm curious to see how many of our, what the breakup is of our stories actually.
Of true, false, true,
Of true,
false.
false, because we've done 18
How many
stories.
people have fooled you both?
Both
Diksha
with the one story is only Diksha, right?
and you.
And Willow.
Willow,
with
yeah.
the Kazakhstan story.
Willow. Anyone else? McKinley didn't know. It was one, he fooled me only. And then Julian.
Yeah, Julian too is also one. Yeah, nobody.
No, just the
except
three
for-
of you, yeah.
Oh, Wendy might have, right?
Wendy, did she with her first story? Oh yeah, she might have.
Yeah.
That was
Anyway.
our previous episode, yeah, sorry.
Well played, dude. You tied with Diksha, which is like Diksha was the gold standard,
Yeah.
and now you
I'm not happy.
are
No,
gold
but
standard.
you know what that means, right? If we do end up doing the like tournament of champions or whatever, that's the
Yeah.
matchup to
Would
look
you be
out
down for
for.
that? Too?
I'd be down.
Yeah.
If
awesome.
you know, depending on my schedule, but I'd be
Of
down.
course. Of
We
course.
like-
We're
yeah.
trying to find something that works for everyone.
Mhm.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you for coming on, dude.
Yeah,
This
you're
was
an
super
awesome
fun.
guest.
Of course, I had a great time.
Yeah, good. Oh yeah, so wait, shit. Cricket, dude.
I'm down.
Okay, let's do sour cream and onion. Arjun,
And
yes.
No.
you just eat them like.
Yeah, literally, dude. It tastes like a sunflower seed.
Tastes like a cricket, dude.
Yeah, okay. Don't look at them too much. That's what like bugs Arjun.
Oh my god. Oh.
Yeah, you're looking at it too
And
much,
then
bro.
Yeah, go for it. Cheers.
Yeah, cheers, you.
Yeah, let's go.
Yo, dude.
They do taste like sunflower seeds.
Right?
I'm gonna find one, boil it up.
Just imagine Adil gets hungry, out of his month's money for food, finds a cricket,
Hey man, you know,
rolls it in a chapati, you know.
it could be kind of nice.
Yeah, honestly, good, dude.
Alright.
Kinda nice.
Anyway, well played, Adil.
Yeah, thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Tied for the top points
Mm-hmm.
in the
Can't
podcast.
believe
We
I
had a great
Bungled
time.
those last two guesses, dude.
Bunkled.
Really bungled that.
Did you guess true for every
just
story?
true
I
for
just
everyone.
realized. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that's how you win the game. dude.
Yeah.
But he did fool us.
He fooled us twice. I mean, he fooled me twice.
Yeah.
Well played, dude.
Good stuff. Yeah.
Adil Bhatti, you have any anything
Closing
you want
remarks?
to talk about, like in terms of I don't know your
Knife. You wanna?
Instagram or something you want to?
No, I'm not currently on social media, but
Okay.
I don't know. Should I be?
If you want, dude. I mean, it's nice to take a break. I think.
I think I might download Twitter.
Yeah,
Twitter's
dude,
supposedly
bro.
really funny.
Okay.
It's pretty funny, but I think it's like I don't know.
Don't listen, Arjun. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. 2020, I basically was off every social media. I got on Twitter.
Change your
my-
life.
Bro, I literally met my girlfriend of now almost a year on
my!
Twitter.
Wait,
Like,
how did? Well, maybe we can wrap this up and then
Yeah.
we can get into it. But
Get into how to date girls on Twitter.
hey,
All
I'm
right.
telling you.
I guess there's a skill for everything.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, thank you guys for listening, and we'll catch you next time.
The Story Game Podcast.
Bye.